This conference will now be recorded.
For June 25th, 2020. We're also going to be doing this via teleconference. So, Brian, you want to go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and have a moment of silence. All right, moving on. Lander County Commissioners may break for lunch from 12 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. Any agenda item may be taken out of order, may be combined, considered by the public body, and items may be pulled or removed from the agenda at any time. Commissioners' reports on meeting, conferences, and seminars attended. Patsy?
Thank you. I did attend the Kingston Town Board virtually. It was a go-to meeting on the June 18th. I think you've all been notified that they are canceling their firefighters fundraiser, which is always kind of sad. That is their biggest one, but they were pretty sure that we weren't going to be into phase 3 at that time, and 50 people just isn't going to swing it. We do hundreds. And so to keep up with that, Round Mountain Gold actually gave them a nice donation. I think it was close to $3,000 that they usually do for food, and they gave it to them to buy raffle prizes and things like that. So they are doing a raffle, and the raffle tickets will be sold until September, and then at one of the firefighters' meetings in September, they will do the actual drawing, and there's some really nice prizes. And then they will just notify the people and get the prizes to them at that time, because they're just doing some big prizes, not a lot of little ones, so they aren't expecting people there for the raffle. So that will be their actual fundraiser. On the 23rd, we did have our quarterly Pony Express Territory meeting. Of course, that's on Zoom, and we've been doing meetings before that, and actually in between. But Travel Nevada, of course, had everybody virtual working from home. They've laid off so many of their people, but they did bring back some. They have a skeleton crew that came back on June 1st, but they're not open to the public. So there are just a few that are trying to put everything together and continue on. We aren't available for grants or anything like that yet, but they still are planning a rural roundup that has not been canceled for the fall. And our territory decided to go ahead and start advertising. It's amazing the people that are coming through. And of course, we're not doing groups. They're just individual people that are traveling, that are out and about. And in the open Nevada, we certainly are that. They aren't close to anyone. So we're going to start advertising on July 12th. And that will be in your own backyard type of thing. And so we might as well see if we can get people coming through. If they're going to be out and about somewhere, where they might as well be traveling and handling some of our businesses and our beautiful areas. The Chamber of Commerce did cancel their wine walk, which is for September also. And they really were hesitant on that. They weren't sure what would be happening in September, but with Highway 50 all torn up, and when we checked with the road crew, they said the 1st of September they're going to start in big time with the whole road. And right now it's kind of easy with just a pilot car and one side of the road and the other. But they would have open holes and everything. They were afraid, and we thought, no, especially people drinking and wine, we didn't want any of that type of liability. So we canceled that also. Thank you.
Very good. Art?
I've had no meetings, but I will be leaving at lunchtime. I've got a medical procedure I need to check in this afternoon.
All right, thank you. Judy, are you on the line? All right. The only meeting I attended was a convention in tourism, and it was just generalized business. Nothing to note on that, Brian?
Nothing to report.
All right. So going on to staff reports, meetings, conferences,
So I think everybody's pretty well aware, we have a total of 34 positive cases. We're starting to climb up in the county. A lot of that is due to more aggressive testing in the community. Talking with Brandy, we expect more. We're somewhat, I mean, we are prepared for it, we're not somewhat, we are prepared for that. We're looking at getting in some additional equipment. Like I say, in protective gear. We should be getting that additional money through the state, from the federal government, that $1 million that we're gonna be looking at some additional. Well, I don't see us getting anywhere near spending that much money, but that gives us the opportunity to buy in bulk as well, and to be prepared for the future. So, I continue to monitor that real closely, and we work with Brandy. Our last new ambulance is scheduled to be delivered next week. Well, it's been delivered, it's being marked up right now. So we have that, probably should be done next week, and it'll go to Austin. And then they're gonna take one of their other ones and send them to Battle Mountain. So that'll complete the fleet. Will be the oldest one in the fleet will be a 2014 ambulance, and then after that, they're all 16s and above. So we've got a real good EMS fleet. I continue to work on our airport projects with JUB. Brought Bert in on a lot of stuff. As far as our grants are going, FAA's been notified that he'll be in contact after July 10th. So, as well as many of the other entities that the manager's office works with. So they're well aware of that. NACO, UPAC, like I say, the FAA and other ones. I have been working pretty diligently with Bert, getting the transfer or the transition put in place so that he is ready to jump in with both feet. I'm sure everybody heard the governor's speech last night, or is pretty well aware of his new directive. And we'll be going over that a little later today. I'm going to get with Bert, go over a little later today, but and see if Ron's available. We can sit and talk about it, Brandy, see what we need to do, if anything. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, and that was gonna be one of my questions, as far as we as a county, what do we have to do with our employees, and as far as following under that directive?
So one of the things that, I had our shade open, or our slide open. We've closed that. Short of that, I don't see any real changes. But like I say, I wanna get with Ron and Brandy and Bert, and we'll all sit down and talk about it and see if there's any further we need to go.
No, I didn't watch it. So, is part of it, like, when people are out in public, like out in parks and stuff like that, and if they're in a group, do they have to wear them as well? Then,
Yeah, that's the way I understand it, and the way I read it, and Liz, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the way I read it, the pressure's not really on the individual, it's more on the business. Because you can't mandate an individual to wear a mask, but he can tell a business, you need to require a mask. So, and we're gonna do a little more research into it. That's why I wanna get with like I say, the people that are involved in it, see which way we need to go.
Okay, all right, thanks. All right, moving on for public comment. For non-agendized items only, persons are invited to submit comments in writing and/or attend and make comments on any non-agendized items at the board meeting, if any, and discussion of those comments at the discretion of the board. All public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person, again at the discretion of the board. Reasonable restrictions may be placed on public comment based upon time, place, and manner, but public comment based upon viewpoint may be restricted. So do we have any public comment?
Ron Unger, Lander County Sheriff. And this is just more of an FYI for you folks. I've had a lot of telephone calls from citizens and VFW about a parade. I have told them that at this point, I don't believe there's gonna be a parade because the state, number one, will not sign a parade permit, so, the DOT. So I believe what they're planning on doing, just so you folks know, I think they're gonna try to do a flag raising ceremony at the park. I don't know what time, but I did tell them that I would inform you folks of what possibly they're gonna plan on doing.
Okay.
And that was for the VFW.
So Keith, this is a question for you maybe. And if we did a parade that didn't have to do with Front Street or Broad Street, that went down different streets, so they were, I'm just throwing this out there, they covered a different, we did a different route.
Can't just non-state routes?
A non-state route, so we could have that and not be dictated by the state. Is that something that we can do?
My personal opinion is yes, we can do it, but I think that would be a legal question.
Legal's on its own.
Okay,
Ted.
so Ted,
Yes.
so yes, we can?
Well, yes, technically we can, because we don't need permission from the state on non-state roads.
Okay, so I mean, is that, I think the community would be for that if we could figure out, maybe the VFW work with Keith to figure that route out and then make sure everybody knows. I mean, Facebook, get it out there. I don't know, that, the one issue would be as long as all the homeowners on those streets, but you would think that they would be okay with that, but I can't, speak for that, but at least we would not be dictated once again by what the state's telling us we can and can't do. And so I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
Ted,
He kind of smirked and did this. Okay, so this is what it's gonna be.
Somebody else.
What?
Oh, we got somebody else on the line we're hearing your conversation.
Ted?
Yes.
Now I forgot my question. Hey, as long as we don't cross Front Street or Broad Street, we would be okay, right?
Yes, the question was, can we have a parade on our own street without permission from the state? Yes, unless we cross or use state highways.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little tricky.
Just food for thought. I mean, if that's something that they want to work out, just so that option's there. If they choose not to do it, that's fine, but at least we have that option.
I will,
Madam Chair?
I'll let the VFW know. I told them I'd call them after this meeting, and I'll have Steve Burkhart, I believe, is the one in charge of the VFW, get with Keith and see what they can do.
Okay.
It isn't anything that can come before the board for us to approve the county streets though, because we don't have another meeting.
Well,
So it would just be off the cuff for anyone that decides to do it, right?
Like the cruises,
yeah,
informal.
or informal, like the
Call it a
cruises
cruise.
that they have.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay?
we'll let them.
And the second issue I have is just an FYI again, is the county did purchase 2 new fire trucks for Lander County Fire Department. We took in January or whatever, they're ready to go into service. So when you see them 2 big ones, they belong to us. Okay? Thank you.
Do you have any more public comment?
Hi, everyone. This is Leslie Bench for the record, Lander County Recorder. This is just an FYI. Marla Sam is retiring, and she's not going to be here pretty much of the next couple of weeks. And I thought that maybe you'd like to drop by and tell her thanks for her 26 years of service and maybe give her an atta girl. Marla Sam. Okay, just thought I'd mention. Thank you. Do you want me to turn this off?
Any more public comment? All right, go ahead.
Muted. Unmuted.
All right. Consent, all matters listed in the consent, considered routine and may be acted upon by the Board of Commissions. Commissioners with one action without extensive discussion. Any member of the board or any citizen may request that an item be taken out of consent agenda, discussed and acted upon separately during this meeting. Consent agenda materials are available at the Lander County Clerk's Office for viewing, and copies are available for a nominal charge. Number 1, approval of June 25th, 2020 agenda notice. Number 2, approval of January 23rd, 2020 agenda, meeting minutes, excuse me. Number 3, approval of February 27th, 2020 meeting minutes. Number 4, approval of May 7th, 2020 special budget workshop meeting minutes. Number 5, approval of May 14th, 2020 meeting minutes. Number 6, approval of May 19th, 2020 special budget workshop meeting minutes. Number 7, approval of May 21st, 2020 meeting minutes. Number 8, approval of May 28th, 2020 special meeting minutes. 9, approval of June 11th, 2020 meeting minutes. Number 10, approval of payroll change request.
I didn't receive any minutes. Did any of you?
I'm not.
Okay, with that, I will make a motion that we approve number 1, the agenda notice, and number 10, the payroll change request.
I'll second.
All right, any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
none opposed, all right, moving on. So we are going to, we've been requested to take an item out of order, so we're going to go ahead and take number 14 first, please. Number 14, Livestock Event Center Board for possible action to approve, disapprove funding of Co-Ed Ranch Rodeo in the amount not to exceed $10,000, and for the chair or vice chair to sign the commitment letter.
Okay, I'm Monty Price, for the record.
Deb Piazza for the record.
Morning, guys.
No.
And we just put in a request, which I believe is standard procedure for funding of this upcoming rodeo. The guy's coming in and he will supply everything. I mean, as far as the rodeo itself, the board at this time is retaining the options. We want to hold out our concessions for a local, hopefully youth organization to do the concessions and the gate admissions. And the other guy coming in will supply, he will come in and put on the whole rodeo, supplying all the stock and the help and the timers and all that stuff. So we had some other requests come in where people wanted $20,000 to $25,000 to do this. This guy come in at 10. It is a very family oriented. It's a co-ed rodeo, so it's family deal. And we would just like to ask for the funding to set this up and get it going.
So, however, I think this is a great idea as far as the county goes for funding these types of projects at this time. We were unable to fund the 4th of July because of the issues going on with COVID. My opinion is that this would fall, unfortunately, under the same category as that. Also, that on these types of things, I think that when we have these, that they come before the board as the grants early on when we're doing the budget, our budget workshops. And I know you don't always know that, but that's, when we are giving these kind of fundings, because if we do it, we give you the money, then the ones who weren't funded, that we deducted and weren't funded, it causes a little bit of stir within the county of how we are funding this, but we took this much away from this person or this much away from that person. So, but with that being said, we defunded our 4th of July, and this isn't, so much further down the road, and we don't know what the governor's going to do and the amount of gatherings and what's going on with that. So that's strictly my opinion, and so I'd like to see what everybody else thinks.
I get, the only input I have on that is we couldn't set this up earlier because of the COVID thing, and then when the governor did approve for the state high school rodeo finals was held 2 weeks ago with probably thousands and thousands of people there, and that's when you guys approved us to have it here. If it is not approved as of today, the event center will be shut down for the summer. I mean, we can't, unless we get approval to do something, it's just gonna set the void for the whole year, so we're asking that you, it's our request that you fund us so we can get something going. And our goal is to try to, it's a 2-day deal, so we're trying to bring people into town. And
Hi, Ted. You have an opinion on this?
This is Ted. My opinion on it is if we fund them $10,000, it will be a Lander County rodeo. Otherwise, we couldn't do it. What we usually do, and the common practice has been, that a 501c3 organization would request money. We'd give that organization the money, and by way of a grant, and that's how they proceed. Since the committee, the board, is an advisory board, they don't have actual powers of their own vested by ordinance. If we give the board the $10,000, it would be like you giving these people $10,000 directly. So it would be county funded. And you need to understand that. Whether you do it or not, it would have to be a county funded because there's no 501c3.
What did Ted say?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, that's fine.
He's basically saying it would be a county event, so the county would be funding it, so you would be liable as the event, just like you would be the 4th of July. And they don't have a 501c3, so we can't grant them the money because they don't have a 501c3.
That's correct.
How do we get a 501?
3C.
Keith can set you up with Madonna.
The 501c3 or the 501c anything is actually, you obtain that through the IRS and they're for nonprofits. It takes a while to get, but that's the whole point of how they operate, and that's how we do our funding.
Peter, question, does any of the other boards, advisory boards, does any board have a 301, 501(c)(3) or whatever, or are we not just, we're working under the county?
Okay,
Yeah,
this
and
is
because
Ted
you're
Rose.
working on,
If I can address that question?
Please.
The board would not get a 501c3. The board would be the middle person between somebody else's 501c3 and the county. Now, it doesn't mean members of the board can't be on the 501c3. But the county can't, if the board gets a 501c3, then it'd be like the county getting one. These are an extension of the county.
Kurt Ramus for the record. So they're just an advisory board to the county. They aren't an actual organization. They would have to start like a roping club or something else to get their 501c3. So I think is what Monty's asking for is for the county to sponsor this and take the responsibility of it while they do all the groundwork to get this event going for the community.
Correct.
and I have no problem, I think it's a great idea, I would make the motion for it. But if we wind up being liable for the event and a lot of people get sick, then it's gonna fall back on the county.
Let me ask you a question. If we went in, because I'm also in favor of doing it, but if we had all the participants, spectators, if they all signed, as they come through the gate, they sign a waiver, right?
They did that for the Trump.
Would that, I guess that's a question for you, Ted.
Well, waivers will always help. So if you took that road, you would have to make sure that everyone followed the dictates of the sitting governor during these trying times.
So, once again, how is this any different than, if we're funding this, then we defunded the Fourth of July?
I was in favor of doing the 4th of July.
I mean,
but-
so,
Ron Unger for the record. Monty made a mention about the Nevada State High School Rodeo State Finals, which we did hold 2 weeks ago, well, actually 3, but it lasted a week down in Alamo. And we was the first sporting event, I guess, in the state of Nevada that the governor allowed us to do, thanks to J.J. Gokuchia. And the only thing we had to do is every one of the contestants, when they checked in, they had to sign a waiver, number one, like you were talking. And number two, what we did is we had to do a temperature check on them. And if anybody was over a certain degree, we had to notify the county and take the precautions necessary. We did require them or ask them to wear face masks and do the social distancing in the grandstands, which they complied. So that's what we had to do to put on our state finals rodeo. And that was all approved by the governor and by Lincoln County. So-
Can we have
And we had no issues.
Can we have EMS there to supervise this?
On the state side for the high school rodeo, it's mandatory that we have either first aid there or be within several minutes of a hospital, reasonable distance.
Okay, so we could have
First aid.
EMS here checking temperatures as people come in, whatever.
Well, we did it ourselves at check-in, because every one of them had to check in with us, because of the entries and stuff. So that's where, on the check-in, we did the temperature checks, we also did the waivers. Here they
Just a
do the
tad
same
rare
thing.
again.
And that was
If you
just
go
for
through
your
with this,
information.
just like the sheriff said, the county would have to be doing that. So it's not like we could do it, we would have to do it. It would be a county-backed rodeo,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
which is fine, but the county would have to take temperatures and make sure everybody's wearing a mask and following all the right procedures. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm in favor for it. I mean, it's like, obviously, this whole thing has displaced us all and changed our how we operate, and it's like, I think we can go forward, it's a give and take, and we have to watch our precaution, watch our liability, make sure people are safe, but I don't see why we can't have the event.
Yeah,
Well, the money's the issue. That's the issue, the money.
Yeah.
You don't get the 10 grand, we don't have rodeos, we don't use the event center this year. I'm gonna make a motion that, what's your organization?
Battle Mountain Livestock Advisory Event Center Board.
Yeah, the event,
Okay.
Battle Mountain Event Center.
I'm gonna make a motion to give the event center board $10,000 so that we can get this rodeo stuff going. And I'm gonna add, please keep your receipts, okay, and turn them in so that we know.
no problem.
That's been 6 years, it's been an issue, and we just wanna know where the money's going.
Oh, no, you'll know.
Excuse me. You will have to appoint somebody from the county to actually do that, because the advisory board doesn't have the authority to do that stuff on their own.
So my question is, the group that's coming in, because you charge, and does that go for some of your prizes or award money too, or what happens to that?
When we will only have one expense, it'll be $10,000 we pay to this guy putting on a rodeo. He will supply everything, the stock, the rodeo, put it on, he will supply all of the prizes, monies, the trophies, the awards, he supplies all that himself, included in that money we give him.
Okay, so you're paying somebody $10,000 to come in and do this event for you?
Yes,
Okay, did you understand that? Okay,
yep. And then what we are retaining, this advisory board wants to retain the right to delegate out the concession stands, which we would hope to get the 4-H kids, the high school FFA group.
what you
or-
normally do, yeah.
Yeah, a youth organization in town, and let them handle the concessions.
And that's what you have to get permission from the board to allow you to do that.
Okay, we have to get permission from the board? Is that what you said, Ted?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, the advisory boards don't have any any authority on their own. They're using the authority of the county commission.
So come back next time for that.
So where are you taking the 10,000 from? What budget?
Commissioner's money.
You can include that in this,
Where do we have the 10,000?
We have it either in the town fund, we'll find it.
Okay.
Do we need to make part of that motion that we follow all the safety guidelines set by the state? And
Yeah,
make sure that's all.
I'll restate my motion. We're gonna have, Bert be the county representative for the event center board. We're gonna give them $10,000 so that we can get the rodeo stuff going. The rodeo, people will follow all the state guidelines and, test people coming in, make sure they don't have fever, keep the receipts so that we have, documentation. Anything else?
At the concession stands? At the concession stands?
Oh, and, the concession stands use will be, determined by the board.
Yeah,
I'll second the motion.
All right, so, any public comment?
I had a public, request, is there gonna be any type of relief or something that in the future that if the county shut down again, will businesses be allowed to come and will the commissioners be able to help them? And I know that's a future agenda item, is that something we can put on a future agenda?
Ask the question again?
If there's a shutdown again and businesses are closed, will there be an outlet for them to come to the commission and ask for some type of relief?
In other words, are we gonna override the governor?
Well, I was just having that conversation with Rob. I think the way they'll enforce that is, because obviously I don't believe it's gonna be enforced on a county level, it'll be an OSHA, thing. OSHA will come in and no different than, are you following this procedure, this safety guideline? If you're not, they're gonna cite the individual business owner. So I think it would be up to that business owner, whether they want to comply with this new OSHA route, law, whatever you wanna call it.
Or how about monetarily? Will there be an outlet?
I think that's what the question is, say, for an example, if the governor was to set back and close down businesses again, if I'm understanding, make sure I'm understanding it, and say for the hair salons, can a hair salon come in and say, hey, we're set back, can the county give us $10,000 because our businesses are now shut down? Is that what it's asking?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't set that precedent.
I know that, but that's what that person, what they're asking is, because, yes, so, okay.
That's the difference between a private business and a public entity. You can't give money to a public business.
So,
It was a question just for public.
Hopefully it's
so with, all that, are we done with any more public comment? All right, so, all right,
Muted.
all right. All in
Unmuted.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
I'm opposed.
You need to put in there to sign the commitment letter too, in your motion.
So now what,
Are you opposed or?
I'm
are you aye?
opposed, I'm opposed.
So we have a standoff.
Oh, okay, well,
Can I ask you guys why you are opposed?
I just, because of the standard we set, the precedent we set with the 4th of July and with our community, and that encompasses our entire community, we said no to that. And so I'm not against their organization at all, and I'm torn, I would love to do that, but we've already told this community no. And, so then I think by doing this personally, I think it's kind of almost like a slap in the face to the community when we allow something to go on like this. And not that I'm against it, and I'm not against it, and I'm torn. I would love to say, absolutely say yes, and under different circumstances, I would be right on board. But we've already told our community no, and so that's where I'm sorry.
When we voted on the 4th of July though, we weren't into our second or third phase. We were on like a complete shutdown. Things have changed since then. With certain protocol being met, we're able to do these things, so.
And I think we're doing pretty much the same thing we do every year for 4th of July. We're just not taking any vendor money for the park.
Oh, no, we, we have in the last handful of years put out quite a bit of money for the vendors. Now, is that something, I don't know, I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, I'm torn on that. I just, really am.
Explain, because we all.
My explanation is that we've told this whole entire community no, that we would not support the 4th of July. Yes, they can go and do it, but we have done things in the park and brought families in and had the blow up things and all the stuff to get this community back together, because prior to this, the county doing that, we had absolutely nothing going on in the park. And I think that it's brought this community together. They absolutely love it. And it was dictated, just like the parade, dictated by this, unfortunately by the state. We can't go on a state road, so we're trying to do something different. And one of my suggestions with the 4th of July thing, is that something that we can bring back? And if we get into a different phase, can we fund it? Could we fund it and do something and help? Then so that's where I am. It's a double-edged sword, and I'm sorry, but we're telling our whole community no, and then a group yes, and I'm sorry.
But we're not telling them no, we're having fireworks, we're trying to solve the issue of how we can have the parade, we are trying to, when we made that decision, that's right, we made it back then when everything was on total lockdown. Things have changed since then, and had we been at this stage of the game back then, we might have made a different decision. But we've made the decision, that's right, but we're still having fireworks, we're still rerouting this parade, people can still gather at the park. I don't see that necessarily.
I don't see it that way either, Brian.
That's all.
I got just a little input.
Okay, go ahead, please.
The reason, we're still talking 45 days down the road for this event. And the reason we were talking 30 days down the road, but these guys putting on these rodeos, they're booking up other places around northern Nevada, and they're having rodeos. We were late at ever getting back to them. So they're still going on in other places. They've been in Fernley, they've been in Lovelock, they've been in Winnemucca. They're putting all these rodeos on. We keep losing our spot because these other places are approving them. I'm not saying that to pressure you guys to say, well, they're doing it, why aren't we doing it? Because everybody needs to make up their own county deal. But they are going on other places everywhere all the time.
Okay. And I understand that. So my question is, and I know this is a off the wall thing, but I'm trying to meet in the middle. Is there a way, since we are in this part of the, we're in stage 2, is there a way that we can have a meeting to where we have one agenda item when we do something at least small for our community for the 4th of July? That we fund something, even if it's not big like it's something. And is that something we can bring back? We have one item, everybody can call in if they want to call in, and we vote on that one item next week when we can get the notice out, so we can do something small for our community. Is that something that can be done?
So, just to back up a little bit, the way I understood it and remember the discussion is the county was not gonna fund the 4th of July, but they were gonna take that money that they would have funded the 4th of July event with, and they are gonna move it to the fall festival. We were gonna move, everything was gonna be moved back for the celebration of the county, of Battle Mountain. So, it's not the 4th of July, but you are gonna move it toward the end of the year a little bit more, when things will be a little more loosened up, hopefully. So, but to answer that question, I mean,
do we have enough time? I mean, I don't want to push you guys up against the wall, even if it's something small, that we've done something.
We could do a special meeting if you would like, but July 1st would be, if we got it out tomorrow, because it'd be 9 o'clock tomorrow, we would post the special 1, 2, 3, so we could do it July 1st at 9 o'clock, and go from there.
Bert, will you come here for a second, please?
I have a comment back on this part, because along with what everybody's saying, I'm still having a problem paying someone else to come in and an event planner and just do everything. If you decide to have the rodeo and the rodeo goes on, perhaps we could do some prizes for it or something like that. But just to pay somebody to come in and do everything, I don't think you know, is the thing to do right now. Bert, you had something?
My question was to him, on this, short of deadline, what is your opinion on this short of deadline of just getting something, if we got something small going on and just.
Well, I guess my thing is it's not on the agenda, so we're getting off topic of what, that it could probably be something that could be added to the end of the meeting, but it's not on.
Okay,
That should,
all right,
I
no,
just think
you're
it's off-
right,
off
you're
topic.
absolutely right.
But to address Patsy's concern, I believe that they are giving prizes out, the county, it's no different than if we hired, a contractor to come in and put a water line in for us. We have our own water department, but we hire somebody to come put a water line in for
No,
us.
I understand the subcontractors, but I'm saying for an event, for one of our advisory boards, is a little bit different when we hadn't put it, you know, on any of our budgets or anything. So I thought if they needed something lower, if you didn't have that event planner, so to speak, not all rodeos have those, do they? Don't they put them together yourselves?
Can I interject here? We have put on rodeos in the past. I did one here, it's been 13, 14 years ago. And if we went out then, we hired, which the county does not own bucking bulls. We do not own bucking horses. We do not own roping steers. We went around last time and we found this guy and we rented or hired him to bring his bucking horses. We hired this guy over here to bring in that stuff, and then we put on a rodeo. It costs a lot more than $10,000. If you find, these guys have a package deal. They can just show up. They already own their trucks. They have to truck all their livestock in. They have to bring their own hay in. They have to bring all that. And this is a package deal, and
Okay, it's a lot more elaborate than, I mean, I was thinking, you know, barrels and poles and, you know, the smaller roping and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, how many people do you expect to
They-
bring
they-
again?
They have it set right now. They limited it. It's a ranch rodeo, and they are teams, 4-person teams. They limited it to 30 teams. So it'll take 30 times 4. That's going to be your.
Okay, now they
contestant.
all pay money. What happens to that money? That goes to the event planner too? So it's a profit making.
The entry fees goes to them, and that's what they use to pay for their fuel, their hay.
Okay, so you give them 10,000 and they walk away with everything except a concession stand.
We get the concession stands and the admissions at the gate, and they furnish all the prizes, which again, you're buying belt buckles and trophies, which are, you know,
Okay.
anywhere from $50 a piece to $250 a piece. So yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
I guess I do have kind of a tough time with it, with everything that's going on and
If you guys look back, I was told by a county official, and I'm not guaranteeing it's correct. They said the last rodeo you guys put on a few years ago cost $47,000 to have them come in and put it on.
Did we pay for that, Bert?
Yeah, the county did pay for that. I don't know the exact number, but I don't believe it was 47,000. I thought it was 12, or, I believe it was 12,000,
Oh, it was
the
12?
county, yes.
Okay.
But the other thing that we need to take into consideration here is, since I've been down here, we haven't had an advisory board that has accomplished anything with the rodeo ground, so to speak, or brought people to town. And we finally have an advisory board that's taken a good step forward in a positive direction for the community. It's unfortunate that it's right now with the COVID going on, but I hate to see that disassemble because of something like this that, in lack of better words, big government's killing. I don't wanna see it kill a small community, you know, that just, something to consider.
Okay, well, and so with that being said, as far as money being put into the fall festival, and if we are able to get something on the agenda, I know that's going off topic, but with that being said, because I would like to do it all truly, you know, for this community. Hopefully we can get that accomplished. Did you have something to say?
Well,
Keith?
at the end, we can go over some of the things in public comment, like bounce houses and things.
Okay.
Fourth of July event.
Okay.
We own those, the county owns.
Oh.
And I don't wanna get away.
Okay, we don't get off topic, so that makes it better too, so now how do we do this with,
Do you wanna change your
all
vote?
right, I will go, as long as
Madam
we do
Chair?
something, huh?
You're gonna have to ask for another motion.
Okay, we'll ask for another motion. Art, do you wanna do your motion, please?
I have another
Okay,
question.
wait,
Okay, so this company that comes in also has insurance?
Yes, They do.
So we would be named as an additional insured?
Mhm.
For your motion.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to give the $10,000 to the event center board so that they can start the rodeo season and to follow all of the safety regulations for the COVID, keep the receipts, and have a good time.
And Bert,
And what?
you have to appoint Bert.
Oh, and
as the
appoint Bert
contact.
as your contact person. And the concession stands will be, use will be decided by the board.
And they need to name the county on their insurance liability.
And they have to have their own insurance.
No, name the county
Name the county.
as an additional insured on their policy.
Name the county as an additional insurer.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And have a good time.
And sign the letter.
And signed by the chair or the vice chair.
I'll second it.
All right. Any more public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We do, just a quick comment, we do have more people coming, wanting to do more things like the barrel racings and pole bendings that are coming to our next meeting, so we will have to continue coming to you each time.
And are you guys going to be selling alcohol in your concessions? Because if you do, you have to apply for a liquor license,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah, now, and our plan on that was to have concession stand, a separate alcohol thing, which we would try to run through one of the local businesses.
Okay, yeah, we have that.
Way to
that-
go.
that
Yeah, we
business
wanna
there.
try and keep everything local and get the whole community involved in this and
We
bring
need,
it.
we need to get back to the business of living in Lander County. That's what we
Yes.
need to get back in the business of.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you at our next event that we get scheduled. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank
See you around, Mike.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to number one for the commissions for possible action to approve, disapprove the payment of bills.
I make a motion that we approve the payment of bills minus check number 208083. Any other?
Nope, just that one.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm in favor of all the bills except 208083 because it's made to my employer. I abstain from that.
No, you don't abstain on this one.
We're gonna come back to
This
that
is for
one.
all the bills.
Muted.
Except that one.
Unmuted.
Oh, all, okay.
Okay, all of them. All right, so
Okay.
all okay.
Okay, now I'll make a motion that we pay check number 208083.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Abstain, okay. So, all right, moving on. For possible action to approve, disapprove. Uh-huh, absolutely. We're waiting for Ryan.
Good morning, I'm gonna transfer you.
Okay, we ready? All right.
5876.
All right, very good. For possible action to approve, disapprove the termination agreement, covenant not to sue between Lander County Commissioners and Keith Westengard.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I would be amiss if I didn't at least bring this up, because this is a concern, and I'm,
Will you,
I'm
one of you
really-
guys mute, please?
I'm concerned that the part where we continue to pay Keith biweekly and keep him on our payroll, so to speak, is not the best thing for the county. And I truly would like to see us approve his 30-day notice to us, and that we pay him in full, and that would be the end. We could do a separate contract for his consulting services, and I think that's important, because I think it's something we still wanted to continue to do. But I I would like to know if there's a way that we can just buy you out, and that's the end of all of our payroll back and forth and our PERS and if the health insurance is a real concern, we can address that too. But I'm going, what would it take to just buy you out? Boom.
You have the agreement in front of you. That's what we agreed on, and if that's not gonna happen, then I'll go a separate route. That's what I.
Okay, Hi, would you like to comment on that, please?
I don't have any comment on that. This is a negotiation between the commission and the county manager. I can answer your legal questions.
Well, I see it as that was something that was agreed on, and that's why we're here at this moment on this issue.
Okay, for a legal question then, and I know that's something we looked at, but this is what we're determining today. And is it still legal for us to negotiate today, such as asking for a complete buyout? Is that out of line, or is that legal for us to do?
Oh, no, I think it's certainly legal for you to continue negotiations. My recollection from the last meeting was that these items were approved in general, but they were subject to the written agreement, which would have to come before the board again today. The board has the legal right to make changes or back out of it however they want. And Mr. Westengard has the right to retain his ability to sue the county. So both sides have the right to negotiate this.
Thank you.
So, with that being said, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we agree the agreement as written and presented.
Do I have a second?
And again, reluctantly, I'm gonna second this.
All right. Any public comment?
I do have a question on it.
No, it's not very far out.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys put your, hello, will you guys put your phones on mute, because we can hear your conversations? Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, on the consulting part, I do have some questions, and I don't know whether it's anything that we can just put on the record or whether we have to have it in the contract. But I'm concerned with if we have any time frame. I thought we were looking at a time frame for the consulting, and I would like to know if we can set any parameters, such as most of it can be done by telephone, hopefully. I mean, do we expect him to come in every single day of the week to be here? Or is it gonna be on call because our new county manager wants that? Or, I mean, I have several concerns how that is gonna work. Yes.
Yeah, I understand your concerns, but I think that would be up to your interim county manager and what he feels his needs are.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Are we saying that the interim manager is the one who's gonna determine how many days and how many phone calls, or, I mean, we aren't gonna set anything in it?
Well, how can you set something?
Well, I mean, if I was county manager, personally, I'd say, I want you here for the next 6 months. What do you think?
Why would you do that if you didn't need him for 6 months? Why would you put that there? Then you're committed to that contract. for 6
Because I'm sure it's gonna take a long time. We have had people that have been working in our fiscal department that have been understudies for a year. I mean, it takes a long time to learn and to feel comfortable and to do that. And I'm going, is the board going to have any kind of parameters? That's all I'm asking.
Well, it was, just one second, that had already been a discussion in the meeting at the length of that, so that has already been discussed. Bert, do you have something to say on or Keith?
I'll let Bert talk. We
Okay.
talked about this extensively.
Okay.
Have to finish my donut, sorry. Bert, for the record, me and Keith spoke about this. I think that to make it short, if I wanted to stay county manager, I probably wouldn't hire Keith back full time. You don't buy somebody out to keep them around. Obviously, there'll probably be some things that come up from time to time. I gotta make a phone call here and there, and that's gonna be part of it, but, I think me and Keith are both very clear on where we stand with him coming in and how much he's gonna work, and, you know, he's been more than helpful when it comes to saying, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And I appreciate that on Keith's behalf. It's good to have in there, but I don't think it's something that's gonna be abused. I'll be back in front of you guys in 6 months asking to be here full time. I don't know if Keith wants to add anything to that.
No, I think he covered it very well. We've been banging on it pretty hard since the last meeting, things that need to be done, notifications that need to be made. And like I told Bert, you know, if you need something, you can call me, if you need me to come in. There are pending litigations that really, there won't be a whole lot. I'll have to be there for some of those, so there will be some, time, but that's on a whole separate matter. But if he needs me, I'm there. If not, I'm not. And it won't, like Bert said, it's not gonna be abused on either side.
So we have a second. Do we have any other public comment? All right,
I made the motion, just under a second.
he's Art then, so we're gonna go all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Reluctantly, aye.
All right,
We need somebody to sign it too.
okay.
Muted. Unmuted.
Whatever needs to be done. So are we good with that item? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break, please. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get back. All right, for possible action to approve, disapprove the agreement for services provided Marquise and Arbrock and Coffin for the pursue legal actions relating to the construction defects. So
Actually, I think we had a nice discussion on this and felt we did want to go forward. I'm assuming that our legal has had a chance to review this, so I need their okay, but I do have a question on the actual contract, and that's on the signature by the client. It says by whom, and then social security number. And since it's a county, I'm assuming we don't have to fill any of that in, but if there's somebody from the law firm that can verify that for me?
Yes, Madam Chair and Commission, this is Cody Mountier on behalf of Mark Arbach Coughing. That's just a standard signature form. There would be no Social Security because we would be retained by the municipality itself.
Good, I wanted to verify that, thank you very much. And then, Ted, you've had a chance to review this for us?
Yes, I've reviewed both of them, but you have to pick which one you want to go with. So I'm glad the representative is here from the law firm. He can answer any questions you may have along those lines.
Right, and do you have a recommendation?
No, I first would need to know what the law firm believes our chances are and how much they expect us to receive. And based on that, we can make recommendations. But without that, you're just like blindly picking an avenue. We need more information from the firm.
Well, one thing we could look at, I mean, we know the total amount of the claim. If we took the 20%, because that's what their contingency is, you could divide that out by their hourly wage to see that's how many hours you would get and say, is that realistic? You know, in something of this nature, you know? That's one way to look at it, and that's what we could do.
Right, and you could also ask him about any past cases he has that are similar to this and see what the outcome was on those.
That's a question for Cody. Cody, did you hear that?
I did. Thank you. The claims are more certain here because the work that was done prior from Mr. Hardy. And I would assume that the commission, if they're considering the hybrid, a safe number would be to take the total amount that was identified in the report and deduct the 20% off of that as far as a take. I can tell the commission that these type of cases typically do not settle very early. There might be insurance involved. In fact, the complaint's going to be drafted in a way to where, tendering from Core Construction to its carrier will be a must. There'll be some time for the carrier to determine if there's covered claims, and there will be, issues with regard to having that carrier retaining an expert, having viewed all three of the properties that are, subject to the complaint, and then that expert will provide some form of opinion back to the carrier. So I don't think this is something where if the case is going to be filed and we're going to see settlement in the first 2, 3, 4 months. There will have to be some groundwork laid. The beauty of it is the county has already pretty much done, and rarely do we have complaints where a full entire investigation's been completed. So as far as cost to the county, a lot of that has already been incurred. It won't be something that's coming out, at this stage. But as far as being able to give an exact number or recommendation on, the values, I do see this case settling, to be honest with you. I don't see it going to trial. And settlements typically happen between, 80 to 60% of the stated value, just depending on how the case plays out. And here, the settlement would have to come after the commission would weigh all options, and we would see, where the money's coming from. There's a varying difference between what would be considered, and that decision would have to be made at that time. Hope that makes sense.
This is Kathy Ancho. When you do on the contingency, does it make a difference as far as how fast this moves forward, just because you guys also have a little bit of skin in the game on that, or does it, regardless of which contract we go, it's going to move at the same rate?
We push our cases forward, as quickly as we can on behalf of all of our clients. So to be honest with you, I don't think because we have skin in the game, it's going to make a huge difference in timing, because we're pretty, fervent on pushing our cases, making sure we're on time and everything else. But that's always in the background, to be honest with you. I mean, that is a consideration of keeping things moving. But we advise our clients the same, regardless of whether it's a full fee or a hybrid.
So if we did, correct me if I'm wrong, I like the contingency because we know what we're handed. But then on that same token, on a contingency, it's gonna be about $1 million if I figured correctly. But that is also recoverable, is it not? We can also recover that?
Well, there's in Nevada, that's something that I still probably need to look a little more into to advise the commission on, because the construction contract, I believe, calls for some recovery of fees and costs. Now, courts don't typically give 100% of fees and costs in those scenarios. So I don't want the commission to think that 100% would be recoverable if we have that contractual clause. Typically, you probably heard, the commission has probably heard, that construction defect actions, plaintiffs are able to recover their attorney's fees and costs. That statute was repealed. That's no longer the case. And it deals primarily with residential, where here we're dealing with commercial properties. So we fall under a different section of the statute. And unless there's a contractual remedy to recover fees and costs, it will not be recoverable.
And it'd only be about $1 million if they settled on the total amount.
Right,
They-
exactly.
It could be 3 million, it could, whatever we decide, but it could be less. But if they, well, like 5.7 is the total.
Yeah, it's
So
like,
it'd
I
be
mean, my thing is why would,
20% would be right there.
you know, I feel like a major disservice has been done to our taxpayers, and why would we settle for less than what they cost taxpayers, right?
And I agree, we should be reimbursed. We should be reimbursed on our attorney costs, but that's,
Right.
you gotta throw the dice, that's up to
That
the
isn't
judge.
always real easy to do, though. In all the lawsuits, it's very, very difficult to plan on. If we hadn't done all of the investigation that's already been done, my instinct would go immediately with the full retainer and percentage. But there's a lot of time and effort, and you saw when he was here before us, I mean, I have no idea the amount of money, but big time that PULPAC has spent already. It hasn't cost us anything to start this investigation. So I'm really leaning towards the hourly and contingent, the hybrid agreement.
So we have a motion?
I don't care how we pay for it, just as long as we get it going and, we get some money back. And then we can make a report on the whole issue to the community once it's settled.
And Commissioners, this is Ted Herrera. I believe, I would agree with Patsy. I believe that my recommendation would be the hybrid contract.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you.
Motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we employ the law firm of Markey, Auerbach, and Coughing attorney to do the attorney fee agreement, the hybrid agreement, which is hourly and contingency for the lawsuit related to the construction defects.
I'll second the motion.
Do we have,
I'm sorry? Oh, we authorize the chair to sign
I'll second that as well.
Now, I
with
would
no
ask-
social.
I would ask that we get, updates once a month from the firm, just an email or something to let us know where we're at.
so Cody, is
Yes,
that, yes,
this-
so we continuously get updates, please?
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the commission, this is Cody again. We will absolutely be updating the commission, and I believe there should be someone, I've worked with counties in the past and cities in the past, and usually it's the county manager or someone that's designated on behalf of the commission that I can communicate with, and I usually send it through them.
Okay.
I mean, would it be something that they would update, our county manager and then he would
Yeah.
present
Mm-hmm.
as in staff
Yeah,
reports or
just one-
something?
And then on reports, the county manager can say, okay, the
That's where
firm
we're at.
has reported
Yeah.
this, because these are top shelf attorneys. This firm, I checked them out, they're one of the best.
So do we had a second?
Yeah, second.
So do we have any public comment? Do we, all right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
No,
Oh, aye.
Aye.
None opposed?
Muted.
Thank you.
Unmuted.
All right, moving on. So for possible action to permanently revoke Commissioner Judy Allen's county credit card for a violation of the county policy 2.16.3, number 7 and number 9 on 2 occasions.
Okay, so what has happened here is, last night, Ms. Allen returned her credit card with most of the backup, for her past charges. We were about $2,700 in undocumented or no charges, or charges with no backup. Currently, we have $1,171.90 that has no backup, that, staff is working on, or they're gonna call Judy and ask her to get that backup to them. This is part of our new, credit card policy. It applies to all county credit card holders. So, my concern was this happened last year. everything was eventually turned in or submitted and, reconciled in the finance department. It did happen one other time for a brief time, it was about a month, which I just left off, so there actually was three. And then this time, which like I said, was around $2,700. So, this is, doesn't happen with any of the other county credit card holders. And, backup documentation was requested several times, and so it came to this. But most all of it was put in, about half of it was put in, so.
What would you like to do?
I would like to, ask that the credit card remain in suspension status. That's where I'm at with it right now. That'll turn over to Bert in 2 weeks, and then it can be his decision if he wants to do something else. I've asked my staff to work with her, to try to get the balance, the $1,171.90 in. And, hopefully we'll have that in the next week or two. If not, I will have it on the 11th, or, the 9th agenda, again. And we'll have to see where we can go with this, but if this was an hourly or a salary employee, this commission would be all over it. And I feel that, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so.
Well, bottom line is that we have our policy on it, and that's what we need to stick to. And I think it's, if it's not, and it can't be, then that individual, whomever it is that holds the credit card is responsible for the charges.
Yeah, and that, it does say that in the policy, if we don't collect something soon, it'll probably have to come back after I'm gone. But that's where it comes down, where the individual has to pay out of their pocket.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get it worked out, she can present her backup and then be all done, so.
Yes.
So Judy did sign the credit card agreement, is that correct?
The new credit card agreement that you guys approved, she did not sign it.
She didn't sign it?
No, but it is also in the county policy, which she did not sign those documents either. She did get the policies, but she did not give me the documents back.
Did you guys did get the policy?
Yeah.
We have it.
So regardless, in that, when we voted on this policy, did she vote on the policy?
Yes.
Then.
And that, it's county policy that this commission put in place. So regardless of.
Why did we change the policy?
Because of these issues, correct?
This was issues, these were the issues in the past, yes.
Okay. Same person?
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess it probably wouldn't need any action at this point. I would like to keep it in suspension status. I would like to keep it in suspension.
Megan Sullivan for the record. I just wanted to point out too that when we don't get statements turned in and the charges on the statements coded, it also puts us behind for the audit because we have to have all this done before the audit.
Like Keith said, if it was anyone else, I don't like doing this, but if it was anyone else, we would be holding them to task. So I'm all right if we hear a motion to remove the credit card, but that's, someone will have to make that motion.
Well, I'll make a motion to formally and permanently revoke Commissioner Judy Allen's county credit card for violation of county policy 2.16.3, number 7 and number 9 on 2 occasions, and for admin to make sure that the credit card is balanced out and obtain any monies necessary from Judy Allen to make up the difference if there is any.
Is Judy on the phone right now?
No.
No?
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
You want me to turn your thing back on?
Just a comment
Second?
on that too,
Okay, go
because if she does have legitimate expenses, she can always turn them in and we reimburse. So it isn't like she still can't represent us to all the meetings and such.
Yes.
She's welcome to do that.
Yes.
And we still have front money?
So we can do an advance, but actually, it's kind of funny. The county manager has to approve commissioners' travel advances and reimbursements. So, that would fall on to Bert if he wants to approve an advance for her.
Okay.
Now, a reimbursement is pretty standard with the proper documentation.
All right, with the first and second, do we have any public comment? All right, hearing none, with all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, opposed?
Muted. Unmuted.
All right. So for possible action to approve, disapprove the proposal from Robin Gray, DBA Seven Valleys LLC for the Lander County Mosquito and Black Fly Program, and authorize the chair to sign the mosquito abatement agreement. So,
So this is, Robin Gray's, mosquito contract.
she's
Sorry, I didn't call you.
Yeah.
I got busy.
I'm here.
Yep. All right.
My name's Robin Gray.
And it's the state, has anything changed from,
It's an increase in fees is what the main thing.
okay.
So my first question is to our county manager. It does include the south?
It's Lander County, correct, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
if-
because
if
everything in the-
you want us to do down there, you just have to tell us.
Robin, I'll need you to,
Oh,
And that's what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
I've contacted, Robin, worked out some arrangements, but that's outside of the scope of the past contracts. So now, if it exceeds it, there's additional costs.
Yeah, well, what, if you want us to do the, the southern part of the county, yeah, there's additional costs, over and above what I've estimated here. The estimate that I've put on the back of this proposal is basically an average of what, over several years of what it's cost to do mosquito abatement here in Battle Mountain. If we do the south part of the county, then you're gonna have to add in, making some kind of arrangement with Humboldt County and mainly
Okay,
paying.
we understand that that's what we've done before.
Okay.
And my only question was on the contract, it looked like it was strictly Battle Mountain and not Lander County. So if that's what it is, everything I kept reading says Battle Mountain.
I thought we were gonna go with.
So that was my question, that's all.
It says right there, proposal for continuation of and contract for the mosquito black fly program in Lander County by Seven Valleys LLC.
That's why we expanded it, and we did buy the fogger. We have a fogger in the county now. In the past 2 or 3 years, we've had to go to Humboldt and rent their fogger. But we did buy one last year, or earlier this year. So we have our own fogger now, and it's at the Woodland Bridge Yard.
Is it in a separate truck?
Yeah, I worked that out with Bert, and it'll be stored indoors as we discussed.
Can I have a look at it?
Sure. It was the 2 you sent me, we just picked one of those.
Okay.
And I thought Anna was gonna talk with you about it, before we decided, but, we did get it, and it was one of the, you sent me the 2,
Yeah.
so it was one of those.
If you want us to do this down in the south part of the county, we're gonna have to get some, permanent, RTU to use in it. That's the chemical.
Oh.
So we never have routinely done it, but because of the virus, and the mosquitoes we found, we started doing it for the last, couple
Yeah,
years?
the last couple of years, it was the West Nile fly.
Yeah, the West Nile.
Yeah, there's a
So,
mosquito
okay,
that's
so
a
the
vector for
contract
West
stands
Nile.
alone, and we add to it just like before?
If it exceeds the contract, what's in the contract, it will, but the contract covers the entire county, correct?
Well, yeah, I guess so, but the cost was based on what it's cost to do mosquito abatement here in Battle Mountain. It was an average going back 6 years, 7 years, something like that. And I did that because, I mean, each year is different. particularly if you get a big floodwater year, there's gonna be more to do than in a dry year. You just can't predict a year and a half ahead of time what it's gonna be.
And when things are going, we get complaints,
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of.
Nobody likes mosquitoes.
Right.
Yeah.
I call Robin, we talk about it, and it's taken care of.
Yes.
It's always been a good deal, there's been no.
You remember the year that we didn't have it?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Remember the year Tom Norris bought us all lights?
Mhm.
Couldn't even walk from my house to the trash can at night because you get bit 100 times.
I'll make a motion if you're ready.
Yeah, we're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the proposal from Robin Gray, DBA Seven Valleys LLC for the Lander County Mosquito and Black Fly Program, and authorize the chair to sign the mosquito abatement agreement.
Okay, we have-
Second.
All right, do we have any public comment? Not hearing any, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Thank you,
Thank you, Robin.
thank you very much.
Muted. Unmuted.
Yes, thank you for your services.
All right,
We all
thank you.
appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Robin,
Do I need to come and sign something?
Did you sign it, or is there a signature line?
Well, I don't really have a copy of it, of the contract.
Well, once the chair signs it. We'll get it, yeah, we'll get it taken care of by email to you, we'll get the chair to sign it then.
All right,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so moving on, for possible action to approve, disapprove, and access easement between Lander County and Maverick Incorporated, located at 210 Palmer Street, Battle Mountain, APN 002-123-07.
This is an easement, for Maverick, this is something that we hope will help alleviate the up on 305 with the big rigs, and I believe there's somebody from Maverick that can call in.
Yeah, I believe, Brock should be online, but you'd have to probably unmute him.
I only have 4 on the line, right?
Yeah, I am online.
Oh.
All right, very good, thank you. So how is, I know I read through this, but
How's it gonna work?
how's it gonna work, how's this going to work? Yeah.
Okay, perfect. As far as I know, I actually would like Brock to explain that if he could. They're in an agreement with the landowner to do an expansion, so that they can open up a couple more of the truck areas, so that easement area in the back would actually just be for the pull out. So it would
Muted. Unmuted.
So it would take that traffic off the front and into the additional.
Yeah, but the traffic problem is at the turn and coming down Broad Street. This property would be okay for exit.
Exactly. That's what I mean, is if they expand their pumps for the trucks,
Oh.
instead of just having the 3.
Uh-huh.
So like I said, the property next door, they're in some sort of an agreement with the property owner so that they can expand over to that side. They would
And
then
you're
come
essentially putting
in.
a truck stop in there. I mean, I just see it's gonna make the problem worse, what I think. And it's like, we're tying up ground.
Again, Brock can explain it better than I can, I'm sure.
So Brock, how many lanes are you planning on, or pumps are you planning on putting in if this property is acquired?
So you'll have to excuse me a little bit. So Dan Pascal has been working on this. This just barely got handed off to me to work with Dan on it. So from my understanding, I believe we would expand. I believe it is 6 lanes, and with that, it would be to try to take more traffic away from the Broad Street and kind of funnel that back away from that.
So this is Kathleen Nancho. This is what I've seen. I don't know, and just like Commissioner Sparks said, if you've ever been stuck on that street, on Broad Street behind 6 or 7 trucks blocking that road, I don't know if that's going to be the answer either. And what the problem is when we approve these, then we have a bigger problem. We go to DOT and they say it's your problem because you allowed to put a truck stop in the middle of an area where we have no true exit for these trucks. And that's the other problem, is if you're on the back half of it and they're coming out, what they're doing now on Palmer is they're backing up all the way on Palmer. And none of these roads on these back streets were built, if Bert wants to make sure I'm right about this, none of these roads were built for the truck traffic. And so we have all of these trucks going up and down the roads that aren't built for that. And we have, right where the schools are and all the kids crossing, we have, the state will not, we've been on the phone, and you can ask Keith, we've been in the meetings where basically the DOT has told us, too bad, you allowed a truck stop to go in there and we're not doing anything about it. So then by allowing this, we add more, are we gonna be adding more traffic, backing it up further? I don't know, because DOT is not gonna do anything for us, and if we go forward and allow it and we have a bigger problem, then it's almost is a joke to the county, for this. And I don't know, I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but I know that by adding more traffic may not be the answer either. And I don't have a problem sitting down and trying to figure out how to fix this, but backing traffic up, we have children running in and out of those semi trucks at this point, and absolutely no help from DOT, because they said your planning and commission allowed it to begin with. So I don't know. Ted, are you on there? What can we do?
Well, you can either have a dedicated truck route through Battle Mountain. That'll take some time to do. Now, by what they told us so far this morning is that they're going to increase the lanes by 5 lanes from 1 to 6. That, to me, would indicate that they'll be able to get these trucks through a lot faster. I don't believe they're going to have 5 times as much business.
Okay, I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
I just don't see how this 45.83 feet is gonna do anything for the truck traffic. It's behind Baker's. The trucks aren't gonna be driving in there. The only way that would help is if Baker sold out and Maverick bought it.
May I?
Well, that's my understanding that what's going to happen.
Oh, okay, well, that's different.
So that's, I think that.
As far as I know, it's just in an agreement right now, but that landowner on that side of the Maverick is for them to be able, negotiating to be able to let them.
What's Black Bart got to say?
What's the question?
Well, your department's getting complaints consistently on this issue, so what is your feedback?
You're correct in what you said. We're getting a lot of complaints because of the 3, 4, 5 trucks stacked up there where there's no exit off of East 8th Street, 7th Street. You know, people are pulling out in there. Somebody's gonna get hit. So, with what I'm hearing, and I haven't had time to give it a good think, but if you was to add more pumps to there, instead of just having the 2, then you're gonna keep a lot of those trucks off of Broad Street, because they're gonna have some place to go in there. As far as the added trucking, I think that depends on the highway and the price of fuel. You know, let's face it, there's quite a bit of difference between the other truck stop here in town and the Maverick, so a lot of the trucks are coming here, but I don't know how much of an increase you're gonna see. I think if you added the pumps, it's gonna get the people off the street quicker.
It will, but if they buy that building and make that like, I would call it a legit truck stop, Maverick's got cheap fuel, man, it is gonna increase, you're gonna have local contractors coming in there, I mean, like, it's just, I see it as gonna be way worse.
Well, and and I don't disagree with Brian either, it depends on what they put there. I think if they just put the fuel pumps in, you fuel up and get out of there, that lets the next one come in, but if you're gonna put a restaurant or something like that there, now you're gonna have a buildup of trucks.
If you have, I think I heard him say 6 pumps, so you have 6 trucks at the pumps, and you have 6 behind, That would take care of the traffic that we have presently 95% of the time. But once the word gets out that there's 6 pumps, then you'll have an additional however many.
A lot of what I've seen personally is the trucks will pull in there, they'll stick the nozzles in, they'll start fueling, and then they'll go inside. The trucks are finished fueling and they sit there for 5 minutes while they're getting hot, whatever they're doing inside. If they was to fuel up and pull out somewhere and then go in and do their business, it would speed it up also. I don't know how you enforce that.
Brock?
If Baker sell to Maverick, then they're gonna need that easement. They're gonna need it to turn trucks.
Well, currently, we're going absolutely nowhere, except having a bottleneck. And this is on the way to at least trying to alleviate it. I have to agree, I don't know necessarily what, because they try and put in more pumps, that will definitely bring more people. I'm not so sure that will do it. It's still a Maverick, and it's still gonna bring in the truckers that are gonna come in. But I think we have to start somewhere. And if it was up to us to approve the Maverick or not, we'd be in a further discussion, but that's a done deal. So now, let's go on and try and make it better. That's all we can do.
That's kind of shooting blind, Patsy. I mean, you're saying, let's go ahead, we gotta do it, but what if we do it and it makes it worse? We're done, we're committed. You don't change it. That's the
I don't know
problem.
how it can make it worse, I don't.
You build it, they will come. I mean, it just.
No, I don't think the fact that whether there's 12 or whether there's 2 gonna make any difference when a trucker sees a sign and he needs fuel and that's where he's gonna go or she's gonna go. I think that's gonna pull him in. I don't think the fact we make it a little bit bigger is really gonna bring in a whole lot more. I think it's gonna alleviate some of our problem, I do.
If they buy Baker's.
And with that, if you don't mind, so one thing that Maverick doesn't really want to be labeled as a truck stop because we're not really tailoring our services to the truckers only, and that's why we don't have like a full blown restaurant or showers or anything like that. So our intent with this is to be able to get people in and then off quicker so they're not jammed up.
Brock, this is Kyla, do you know if there's any plans for them to put any truck parking where they can pull out and park from the pumps? What you see similar to other areas? Do you guys even have enough room there to be able to do that?
So I don't believe that's in the plan currently. I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier or not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, we're listening, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah, so, we typically don't make areas for semis to go and park because we're not a truck stop. We're not there for truckers to come in, get a shower, get something like that, it's really just come in, fill up, and then leave. And so typically we do not do any parking for semis, just because we don't necessarily want the traffic to stay there. We want it to come in and then leave and get going down the road.
But that's not what's happening now. What they're doing is they're backing up, even like behind the Maverick. You have, after they've fueled, you have them stopping there, then you have them going down Palmer towards the hospital, going that way, stopping, and then back up towards, Broyles Ranch Road, and sometimes you can have 3 or 4 trucks in a row because they are stopping and going in there and resting or what, just taking a breath. And it's not that I'm against this, but I'm also not for one of our kids getting ran over in traffic. So I don't know if this is something that can be done, but if we start having bottlenecks and problems, I would like to see that the Maverick step up and help us try to make the solution to fix it, because if not, and now that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and we sign along and it becomes a problem, then we're hanging out there as a county once again going shame on us twice. So if we can have some kind of understanding with Maverick that if we start having problems that they're going to step forward, they're going to help be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. That's my biggest concern.
Well, we put this as a high concern with Nevada Department of Transportation to try and help us solve this.
They said absolutely not. They told us they would not do anything for us, in no uncertain terms, you allowed.
Seriously?
Yeah,
It's our problem.
It's our-
It's Lander County's problem.
yep. More
Well,
than once.
Maverick does not want to be a part of the problem. So if there's a way that we can be part of that solution, and and if it would help, if if we can put maybe some additional signage there stating there's no parking, on those streets that you're talking about, I think Maverick is more than willing to step up and help be part of the solution to that.
Okay,
Could we post make an ordinance and put a posting there that it's enforced by ordinance, and then that would give the authority to the sheriff's department to say, hey, we're citing you because you're in violation of this ordinance. Ted, is that a possibility?
Well, that would be, Brian, but I believe the ordinance is, I think the sheriff's department already has authority to stop them from parking there on the streets now.
Well, I think if they get Bakers and they put 6 pumps in, depending on where they put them, they're gonna be able to stack a lot of trucks in that space and would keep more trucks off of Broad Street. That's the issue. And we've had trucks parked there and check their tires and walk around, and that's an issue, because that's just, you can't have that on Broad Street. It's just too busy there. But I'm not opposed to this, because I'm thinking this is gonna work.
so, and I'm not opposed to it either, as long as if there is a problem, that they're willing to come to the table and help us solve the problem.
One thing that might help from the Maverick end is to put more diesel hoses on your pumps that are in front of the store. If you increase that, then the general contractors that are starting out in the morning can gas up there instead of where the semis are.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm more than happy to kind of to propose that to the decision makers on something like that. Yeah, I'm more than happy to propose that. I can't make that agreement right now that we will or will not put more diesel fuel pumps on the existing canopy, but I'm more than willing to propose that and see if that's something that they would look into to help mitigate the issues.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking.
Well, you have the plea from this commission, because we definitely want to address it, and I don't think denying it is going to address it. So we're looking for you to really help us out, as our chair said. And with that, I will make the motion that we approve an access easement between Lander County and Maverick Incorporated, located at 210 Palmer Street, Battle Mountain, APN 002-12307.
And I'll second that, as long as you start cooking Bahama Mamas earlier.
Okay, there's lots of things that need to be signed and notarized on this, so, that's also in the motion.
Do we wanna put anything in the verbiage to where that if it does become a problem,
Problem that they- yes.
that they've committed themselves to actually help us solve the
Yes.
issue?
Yes.
I know we've pleaded and we've reported, I can put it in the motion, absolutely, that we are looking to you
Well, it needs
to,
be in the
Actually,
contract.
it was stated within the motion that they have agreed if there
Yes.
becomes a problem.
that
Ted, can
Mav-
they add that language to that agreement?
Yes, they can say we are adopting this with the understanding that Maverick will do certain things if required.
Okay, so we can add that to the declaration of easement?
So you need to put that.
Well,
in
you
your
could,
motion
but you
to
could
add
also
that
add it to your
Okay, I will add that to my motion.
Okay, and I'll second that, but we need to understand that Maverick is only responsible for what legally they are responsible for. We can't force them to do anything outside of that, or, that's all they're gonna be responsible for.
So do we have any public comment? So with the first and second, all in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm gonna vote nay, just because I'm not comfortable, I just don't feel like I know enough about it to actually give an A, so I'll vote nay.
All right. Moving on.
Muted. Unmuted.
So for possible action to approve, disapprove Resolution 2020-06, directing appointment of net proceeds received in the month of May 2020. All right, you're on.
Lake and Sullivan for the record. The resolution's there for your guys' approval. If you have any questions, try and answer them.
So with this, does all of this have to be read in?
I don't think so.
Ted, isn't it just the title?
Does somebody wanna handle this one?
Is it the whole resolution?
Well, how long is the resolution?
It's always been read into the record before, Ted, because the certain amounts go to each fund. That's why it's been in the past.
We've always read it in before.
Correct.
Yes, and I think we should probably read it in again.
So we do have to read it all in?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2020-06, directing apportionment of net proceeds received in the month of May 2020. Resolution number 2020-06 of the Board of Lander County Commissioners. A resolution directing apportionment of net proceeds received in the month of May 2020. Whereas on May 26, 2020, the Lander County Treasurer received $20,703,358.45 in net proceeds. And whereas it is the desire of the Lander County Board of Commissioners to appropriate the net proceeds as follows. Mandated. Commission fees / general fund 3%. The amount $621,100.75, and the fund number 001-000-31345. Assessor tech fees 2%. Amount $414,067.17. Fund 300-000-32223. China Springs in the amount of $18,849.60. Fund number 001-000-31340. State Medical Indigent, amount $425,740.92. Fund number 004-000-31340. State Indigent NACO, amount $97,497.92. Fund number 004-000-31341. Capital Acquisition, amounts $324,993.07. Fund number 011-000-31340.
Excuse
I think you skipped the 194.
Wasn't that the,
It should be capital acquisition and,
What did I just read?
the 324,000.
Okay, sorry, so the amount for capital acquisition is $194,995.84. And fund is 031-000-31340. Thanks for correcting me. Landfill is $324,993.07. Fund is 011-000-31340. Hospital, amount $3,154,740.22. Fund is 060-000-31340. School District, amount $4,631,151.23. Fund is 070-000-31340. Total, amount $9,883,136.72. Discretionary, buildings and equipment, amount $4,270,221.73. Fund is 029-000-31340. Airport capital, $2 million. Fund 380-000-31340. LEDA, amount $50,000. Fund 015-000-31340. Culture and Recreation, amount $1 million. Fund 052-000-31340.
NPM Future Reserve Fund, $3,500,000. Fund 200-000-31340. Total discretionary is $10,820,221.73. Total for both mandated and discretionary is $20,703,358.45. Whereas the Lander County Board of Commissioners desires to use discretionary net proceeds to fund buildings and equipment, Fund 029, Airport Capital, Fund 380, LEDA, Fund 015, Culture and Rec, Fund 052, and NPM Future Reserve Fund, Fund 200. Be it further resolved that the fiscal officer and the treasurer are directed to distribute the payment for net proceeds according to the schedule. And that's it.
Passed and adopted and authorized chair.
Okay, passed and adopted this 25th day of June 2020 and authorized the chair to sign.
Second.
Alright. Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Alright, moving on, thank you very much for reading that.
Muted. Unmuted.
Alright. For possible action to approve, disapprove the independent contractor agreement between Lander County and Tom Gransberry, DBA TFG Consulting LLC, for the purpose of providing assistance and training to the Lander County Fiscal Officer.
This is just a renewal of Tom's contract. He's had one for the last year.
He doesn't currently have one right now.
Well, but he's had one in the past, so, we're just extending it, I guess. And all the terms are the same.
Was it an annual contract? Because I don't remember approving it. Or did it come prior to our?
No, I approved the one for the previous.
Oh,
one.
gotcha, okay.
And so this one, Lake wanted to put before you, so we put it before you.
Let's see here.
And the provisions haven't changed since what, like you said, I didn't think so.
Where's, oh, right there, $60 per hour.
I didn't have one at all last year.
Ready for a motion?
Yep, we're gonna go ahead, ready for a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the independent contractor agreement between Lander County and Tom Gransberry, DBA TFG Consulting LLC, for the purpose of providing assistance and training to the Lander County Fiscal Officer.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Did authorize the county manager to sign?
And authorize the county manager to sign.
Okay,
Second.
any public comment? Hearing any, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Amy, you're up.
Muted. Unmuted.
All right, will you
Amy.
turn your little, just turn that, hit that. Okay, very good.
Green for
All
go.
right. For
Okay,
possi-
Amy Nelson for the record. Go ahead, Kathy.
For possible action to approve or disapprove the closure of a portion of North First Street, specifically at 645 North First Street on June 28, 2020, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for a wedding by Colt and Amy Nelson.
I'm thinking it'll be less time, because I just looked at the weather report, and it's supposed to be like 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds of all days. It's 100 degrees Saturday and then 70 Monday, so in between, it could be a pretty quick wedding. We're all flying away. Anyway, at any rate, what we are trying to figure out is, for safety reasons, if there's any way we can look at closing off that little section, or even maybe the whole road. I don't know if it can be approved or not, but, you know, kids go back and forth during events, and as you guys know, we've put in that big gazebo, and we have a lot of people interested in doing quinceañeras, weddings, different things like that. The first big one is going to be Colt's son Jimmy, who'll be getting married this Sunday, and we just wanted to see if there was anything we could do formally to have in place, you know, some type of a way we can
Some barriers?
put cones up just for the back and forth, because it's just that one little road.
From Hinman's house down to the corner of your property?
Correct. Yeah, we wouldn't even necessarily need to do that. We could, if we wanted to, we could just do from, you know, where our property starts, or if we could do it from Ernie, where Hinman's
from Ernie's house to the end, that would probably
And
be
the neighbors
better.
don't have any problem with it? You
No,
just-
no,
the
no, and
events.
we talked to Jim Schmidt on the other side, and then Ernie on our side. And then if we needed to, we could, I'm sure, go talk to Kelly Rodabaugh, but there's other access, and it's just a two-block road to begin with. So we were just hoping to have an opportunity to,
I'll make a motion to close the portion of North First Street, specifically at 645 North First Street, on June 28th, 2020, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for a wedding by Colt and Amy.
I'll second.
All right, any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I just,
Oh, go ahead.
you guys have barriers to put up?
yes, we bought some
Okay.
over at Home Depot.
That's all.
Very good.
You're good.
So,
You're good to go, thank you very much.
thank you, thank you guys so much, appreciate it.
All right. For Public Works, possible action to approve, disapprove Austin Water and Sewer Technician job description.
Muted. Unmuted.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this is more of a formality, just.
Yeah,
We haven't changed anything, it's the
No,
same
we-
one,
We
right?
pretty much moved the Battle Mountain job description, put a new name on it.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the Austin Water and Sewer Technician job description.
I'll second the motion.
all right, any public comment? All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Absent, Ryan's absent.
We got it.
Oh, we're good. All right, so, for possible action to approve, the Austin Water and Sewer part-time reception job description.
I'll make a motion that we approve Austin Water and Sewer part-time receptionist job.
And I'll second the motion.
Any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
All right. So, for possible action to approve, disapprove the hiring of interim public works director by interim county manager.
Yes, so to be clear, we are advertising. This is not just a stuff a buddy in a spot type of program. It is gonna be advertised in-house, but it would be a temporary as well. Pending, the commission would approve it for final 6 months from now, if I was approved 6 months from now as well.
Yeah, we just need to let people know that there is this thing called interdepartmental transfers that have been used in this county for years and years and years.
Yes, so to clarify, we advertise in-house for all county employees first.
Right.
And that's who gets the first crack at it. If we don't get any applicants that are qualified, then we put it out to the public.
Right. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the hiring of an interim public works director by the interim county manager. Is that where we're at?
I'll second.
All right, any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Very good.
Muted. Unmuted.
Thank you.
For possible action to approve, disapprove the coordination with the Nevada Department of Water Resources, NDWR, for the temporary use of construction water from the Battle Mountain Sewer and Water standpipe. But the period will be for 1 year, starting approximately July 1st, 2020, total estimate quantity, 61 acre feet. The place of use will be the Battle Mountain Solar Project, located approximately 9 miles from the town of Battle Mountain off I-80, the Moat Road, Humboldt County.
What's this solar project all about, Bert?
So I'm not real familiar. I think they have a representation here. And they made a request to use our water to put in their solar project. Now it is in Humboldt County, so we're crossing lines there, and I think that this is something that the county commission should approve or disapprove.
So the project that's being built is in Humboldt County,
Yes,
and they wanted to use Lander County's water?
correct.
And it's on this side of the freeway, on the
Yep.
south side?
Yep, it is
Past Fat Rooster?
directly behind my sister.
Okay.
Yes.
This
Down
is-
to Moat?
Correct. Is my understanding. So right there, that county line cuts off it
Yeah.
cuts right behind.
Yeah.
And so that's Humboldt County roughly when you hit the mode exit, and it kind of quarters off at an angle there, and so we're the closest source of water for the project, but I'll let them speak on their.
You know,
on their
this
own
has been
behalf.
so exciting. It's been in the works for what, the last couple of years at least. Is it Greg that's here?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's a lot of water.
So
We
I
are
broke, so I broke the numbers down for you guys so everybody would understand. You know, an acre of water is 325,000 gallons. And so we're looking at, you know, they're gonna take 13 loads of water a day roughly for 1 year. That's, if they work 365 days a year, they would be taking 13 loads of 4,000 gallons per load every day.
That's gonna be 20 million gallons.
Yeah, it's actually, yep, almost on the button, 19 million and some change. We do have the water,
Will we be paid for this water?
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, and we'll probably have all of our restaurants and motels full for the next year too. I mean, we're talking, this has been a big project in production. How long, Greg? At least 2 years, maybe more.
Yeah, this is Andrew Podekar with MYR Energy Services. We're the EPC contractor for Con Ed for the project. It has been in the works for several years. We are mobilizing. Our team has about 8 people in the office here on Carson Road. Several of them have already taken residence in Battle Mountain. On your schedule, we will start here in July and August, and for probably the next 6 months when we do the civil work, that'll be the heavier usage of the water. It's primarily used for dust control and establishing compaction. We probably will not use as much water as you stated, Bert. Our estimates are more around 8 million gallons, but the 10 to 20 loads of a day is what we will use in the near term when we are building roads and establishing compaction. But after that, it's primarily just used for dust control as we're driving in and out of the site.
How many acres is the plant, the solar power plant itself?
Approximately 660, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, and I apologize, I don't mean to be misrepresenting
No,
anything. I'm just going solely off the numbers from the agenda item.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the coordination with the Nevada Department of Water Resources, NDWR, for the temporary use of construction water from the Battle Mountain Sewer and Water Standpipe. The period would be for 1 year, starting approximately July 1st, 2020. Total estimated quantity, 61 acre feet. The phase of use will be in the Battle Mountain Solar Project, as we all know, and it is located 9 miles from the town of Battle Mountain off Highway 80 and Moat Road. And let's see, who do we authorize to sign on this one? Public Works Director?
I'll second
Any public comment?
Yes, good morning. For the record,
Yes.
my name is Greg Billieu with Tech Engineering. I'm the water rights consultant on this project. I just wish to point out that the actual number is correct at 8 million gallons is the estimated use of the water.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, in the
right.
paperwork, it says 61 acre feet. How do you come up with 8 million gallons versus 61 acre feet?
There was, the 8 million gallons translates to 24.55 acre feet annually. The original estimate was based on worst case scenario.
Where are you gonna get your water for the plant?
During operations?
Water for the plant, this is purely for construction.
Okay.
Any other public comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 No.
Alright.
Well, it's exciting, Greg, and like I said, we've been watching it for a long time, so Con Ed's done a great job, and we're looking forward to working with you.
We're excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Treasurer.
Muted. Unmuted.
Wow, Juicy, we gotta do some business today.
Right? All right, for possible action to approve, disapprove resolution 2020-05, to levy the 2020-21 tax rate. You are on.
So I think you guys just have to read that into the minutes, the resolution.
So, Lakers, so school at .75, that's the cap, right? They can't go over that, is that correct? Okay.
Doesn't the TV board get a percentage?
The TV?
TV board?
The TV board's not listed here. I thought they got a percentage of the income. Of the tax.
Are you ready for the resolution?
Well, he was looking for the TV.
The TV board is a standalone entity. They don't get, it's like land, convention and tourism, so they are not part of it. They do not get.
They don't.
Completely separate.
I think for the general improvement district, I believe there is a fee included in the property taxes that goes to them.
Property tax goes
I
to
think
them.
there is, for the use of cable.
Yeah, I just, looking at this, I mean, TV board, do we need a TV board? Everybody's on cable.
So we need to read in the whole resolution on this one?
Ted, do we need to read the whole thing or
resolution?
just the title?
Okay.
The whole thing, please.
Okay, I move to approve Resolution 2020-05 per NRS 361-460. The Board of County Commissioners of Lander County now that the Nevada Tax Commission has certified the combined ad valorem property tax rate and that the levy of taxes in Lander County for the fiscal period beginning July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021 shall be in accordance with the following schedule for each fund on $100 worth of property. General Fund, 1.2670, Road and Bridge, 0.1909, Indigent, 0.0755, Ag Extension, 0.0150, Aging Services, 0.0850, Airport, 0.0400, Culture and Recreation, 0.0895, Youth Services, 0.0009, State Indigent, which goes to NACO, are collected by NACO, 0.0150, State Medical Indigency, 0.0655, Capital Acquisition, 0.0300, Lander County Landfill, 0.0500, Hospital, 0.5109, School, 0.7500, State Rate, 0.1700, Base Rate, 3.3552, Specials, Austin Town, 0.2890, Battle Mountain Town, 0.0500, Kingston Town, 0.3048, passed and adopted this 25th day of June.
I'll second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
And authorize the chair to sign, of course.
So, moving on. For possible action to approve, disapprove payment from Lander County Treasurer for payment of taxes held for 2020-21.
So these are just taxes that I hold for people for the next year. Like Chucker Hills always sends $1,000 every time they can, so we just hold it until the new tax year comes. Cause he has so many properties.
Oh, so they pay it ahead of time and you guys just hold it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to approve payment to the Lander County Treasurer in the amount of $12,919.40 for taxes collected in advance from specific taxpayers for the 2020-21 tax year.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any public comment?
So these are all collected in advance, so these are not, they're not in the arrears?
No.
It's all in advance, okay, yeah, do we have a second?
Yeah, so.
Pay ahead.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Very good. Discussion regarding letter or one-year delinquent tax per NRS 361.5648 and NRS 361.565.
Directions on this is discussion only, but they want it read into the record, is that
Yes.
right? Okay, so I now acknowledge, for the record, the Lander County Treasurer's personal affidavit of May 23rd, 2020, to our Board of County Commissioners affirming that due notice has been mailed to each taxpayer with respect to the delinquency of each parcel.
I got a question, I wanna know.
Is that what you wanted? Did you state?
I think you have to read the letter itself in.
Do I have to read the whole letter in?
Yes.
May 23rd?
Okay, May 23rd, 2020. Issuance of affidavit and legal advertisement of delinquent taxpayers pursuant to NRS 361.5648. The undersigned does hereby affirm that each taxpayer was given due notice by first-class mail of the delinquency with respect to each parcel. 553 parcels were delinquent in payment of taxes due for 2019-20. 339 envelopes were mailed. 18 envelopes were returned as undeliverable with no forwarding address as of May 23rd, 2020. 33 notices were within the envelopes determined as undeliverable with no forwarding address as of May 23rd, 2020. And this is from Justiva Johnson, our Lander County Treasurer and ex officio tax receiver.
Okay. What does Yale University own in Lander County?
Parcel number 013-130-26.
I have to go pull
Okay,
the,
If-
off the
would
top
you-
of my head, I don't know.
Would you find out?
I will.
I'm just interested in, what the heck?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll second.
There isn't, it's discussion.
It's just read in the record.
Just read
Oh,
it-
just-
read it in the
okay.
record.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
No motion, no action.
Very good. All right. To approve, disapprove adjustments to tax roll. Secured tax adjustments. A, adjustments to 2018-19 secured roll. B, adjustments to 2019-20 secured roll. Secured roll special assessment adjustments. A, adjustments to 2018-19 special assessments on secured roll. B, adjustments to 2019-20 special assessments on the secured roll. Unsecured roll adjustments. A, adjustments to 2015-16 unsecured roll. B, adjustments to 2016-17 unsecured roll. D, adjustments to 2018-19 unsecured roll. E, adjustments to 2019-20 unsecured roll. Unsecured roll special assessment adjustments. A, none.
So these are all the adjustments that we made in the 1920 year.
You ready to tackle this one? I have my notes. Okay. All right, follow me close so I don't miss anything. I make a motion to approve the adjustments to the secured roll as follows. Approve adjustment to 2018-19 secured rolls, parentheses, $74.38, parentheses. Approve adjustment to 2019 to 2020 secured roll, parentheses, $489.22, parentheses. Okay, now I move to special assessments, okay? And approve the adjustment to the special assessments on the secured roll, 2018 to 2019, parentheses, $489.22, parentheses. Okay, now I move to special assessments, okay? And approve the adjustment to the special assessments on the secured roll, 2018 to 2019, parentheses. 2019 to 2020 secured roll, parentheses, $489.22, parentheses. Okay, now I move to special assessments on the secured roll, 2018 to 2019, with water and sewer liens transferred twice from Austin, parentheses, $5,833.10, parentheses. 2018, 2019 water and sewer liens transferred twice from Battle Mountain, parentheses, $41,794.19, parentheses. So our total combined adjustment to special assessments on the secured roll for 2019 and 2020 for $47,627.29. Now I move to unsecured. Approving the adjustments to the unsecured roll as follows. Approve adjustments to 2015 and 16 unsecured roll. Approve adjustment to 16-17 unsecured roll. Approve adjustments to 2017-18 unsecured roll. Approve adjustments to 2018-19 unsecured roll. And approve adjustments to 2019-20 unsecured roll.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unopposed? All right.
Huh? Well, who seconded it? Who seconded?
I did.
Art did.
Art did. So have we covered all of that one? That was a little confusing to me, so we're on are we moving on?
Now we're on 19.
Okay.
Gonna pay Fred.
All right. Very good. For possible action to approve, disapprove, tax refund per NRS 354.240, number 2, made to Lander County Treasurer from July 1st, 2019 through June 25th of 2020 for Fred Schroeder in the amount of $86.46 for parcel 002-065-03 on a secured roll.
So this is for a refund for him for a mobile home that is no longer on his property.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we, pay Fred Schroeder the $86.46 for parcel 002-065-03 on the secured roll because of overpayment.
Second.
Yes.
All right. Any public comment?
Commissioners?
Yes?
Could you amend that to approve the payment?
To
Yeah,
approve the payment?
To approve the payment?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
To pay.
Okay.
All in favor?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
So question on item 20 here. I
Okay.
have to read it in first.
Get that in. All right, to approve, disapprove resolution 2020-04 for Lander County Treasurer to allocate interest earning effective July 1st, 2020.
So we're allocating interest earnings to the fund,
It'll
names
be
and-
for water and sewer district number 2, since they made the two funds, 210 and 215 they added.
So, but my question is, how much are we I mean, what is the interest earned that we're allocating and how much to each fund? Or do we not have to state that, or?
There's a spreadsheet that I do.
Okay.
Cause I have to divide the total to get the percentage, and then the rest of it goes 60-40 split between the general and the CCP fund. The remaining of it.
But it says it'll be allocated in the following funds, and there's, I don't know, what, a dozen or so there.
Yes,
So are those,
All
how
of
much do
these
we
get the-
distribute to each one of those funds? Is that something that's set by statute, or is that something we have control of commissioners to be able to allocate those funds to in the amount that we would like to in those funds?
it's allocated by resolution.
No, I
Which-
understand that, but what do you guys
You're-
understand what I'm asking? It's a bit confusing for me. It's, we're allocating our interest earned off our investments. From what I'm reading here, it goes to all these funds, so what's the percentage of each fund that we're allocating? And do we have control over that? That's what I'm asking.
So there's no breakdown, what he's saying is there's no breakdown to say, like on the other page, it showed exactly the amount that was
Oh,
tax
'cause
roll, like being
it goes by
allocated.
each,
The
what,
percentage that goes into
each
of
one
these
is different by what they have in each fund. So the breakdown is different. I don't know if
They're
that makes sense
asking
or not.
they're asking if the percentage is pursuant to statute or ordinance.
Yeah, do you know, Ted, is it controlled by statute or ordinance?
That's why I'm asking the treasurer if the percentage is controlled by statute or ordinance.
So that's what
I
I'm
don't think
asking
it's
you.
by
Is
the
this something that
statute.
we're mandated to do by NRS, or do we have some control in where,
You have
how much
control.
money we put in each one of these funds? I
You
mean,
have
is that-
control.
We do,
Mhm.
okay. So, I guess, cause right now, I don't see how much we are putting into the funds. That's.
Well, I think, Megan Sullivan for the record, I think what Juicy's saying is it's based on how much money they have in their
In their
accounts.
each fund.
This is the interest off of their accounts, so they're getting.
Oh, I see.
Does that make
Thank you,
sense?
yes. That
Sorry.
makes completely, yeah, totally got it now, so, yeah. You guys understand that?
I do.
And-
Okay, good. Sorry.
So it's just adding those two
No,
on
I got
there
it.
because of the number and two that they're dissolving.
Yeah, thank you.
Someone wanna read it in for the motion?
You want me to take that?
Please?
Okey-doke. I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-04. It's a resolution of the Board of Lander County Commissioners, a resolution regarding the allocation of interest earned from any Lander County bank account to the appropriate funds retroactive as of July 1st, 2020. That was my question, so I'm not sure how we can make it retroactive because it's going forward, but I wanted that clarification on the record. Whereas the Lander County Treasurer has bank accounts, i.e. example, checking, savings, investments, etc., that earn interest. And whereas the interest earned needs to be allocated by resolution or per Nevada revised statutes, now therefore be it resolved that the interest earned will be allocated to the following funds. The General Fund, 001, Lander County Landfill, 011, Austin Capital Acquisition, 019, Austin Town, 020, Battle Mountain Town, 025, Kingston Capital Acquisition, 034, Kingston Town, 035, Kingston Water District, 036, Kingston Fire Department, 037, Austin Fair and Rec, 045, Battle Mountain Fair and Recreation, 046, Battle Mountain Capital Acquisition, 054, Capital Construction Projects, 055, Reserve Fund, 057, Austin Water Operational, 210, and Austin Sewer Operational, 215, those are our two new ones. Battle Mountain Water Operational, 226, Battle Mountain Sewer Operation, 236. Technology fees, 300, Court Facilities Capital, 385. Be it further resolved, interest earned by funds not stated will be split 60-40, respectively 60% capital construction project, which is our CCP fund, and number 55, and 40% general fund, number 001. Passed and adopted this 25th day of June, 2020. And authorize the chair to sign.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Moving on, thank you. So, to approve, disapprove the transfer of delinquent water sewer accounts to the 2019-20 secured roll to reconcile on June 25th, 2020, and other matters properly related thereto. A, to transfer and reconcile accounts according to Lander County Code Section 13.04.05007E, Battle Mountain. B, to transfer the reconciled accounts according to Lander County Code Section 13.08.050, Lander County Combined Sewer and Water District Number 2.
Okay, these are all my water and sewer delinquent accounts that need to be transferred to the 2019-20 tax roll.
So if they're delinquent, how come, like, I'm looking at some of them, and they just say current amount, but there's nothing in the 1, 2, 3, 4 months?
Yeah,
It's,
I'm on here.
you
I
guys,
pay my bill every month.
You're misreading it. Everything that has a gray line, okay, everything that has a gray line is supposed to be highlighted, but we didn't copy this in color. And I did the same thing. I thought those are the only ones that paid, and I had to verify it.
so what's your grayed out
So we need to
ones?
look at this, and then you'll see that the actual adding machine tape adds up to the correct amount. So I move to approve the reconciled delinquent water and sewer accounts be transferred from Battle Mountain Water and Sewer to the secured 2019-2020 tax roll per Lander County Code, Section 13.04.050 7E, in the amount not to exceed $95,057.53, which was reconciled on June 25th, 2020. And the reconciled delinquent water and sewer account be transferred from Lander County Combined Sewer and Water District Number 2 to the secured 2019-20 tax roll per Lander County Code Section 13.08.050 in the amount not to exceed $1,655.91, reconciled on June 25th, 2020. Is there anybody has to sign? I don't think so. I'm done.
Okay, all in favor? Oh, I didn't. I was looking at him. So public comment? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. So, right, we'll just go on 22. So to approve, number 22, to approve, disapprove payment for delinquent water and sewer accounts for 2018-19 and 2019-20 and reconcile on June 25th, 2020. A, to pay accounts according to Lander County Code Section 13.04.050 Battle Mountain. B, to pay accounts according to Lander County Code Section 13.08.050 Lander County Combined Water and Sewer District Number 2.
So this is to pay all the delinquent water and sewer accounts.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the Battle Mountain Water and Sewer in the amount not to exceed $95,057.73, reconciled on June 25th, 2020, for the Battle Mountain Water and Sewer delinquent accounts 90 days or older per Lander County Code, Section 13.04.050 7E, and payment in the amount of $1,655.91, reconciled on June 25th, 2020, to the Lander County Combined Sewer and Water District Number 2 for delinquent accounts 90 days or older per Lander County Code Section 13.08.050.
All right. Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
very much. So correspondence, reports, future agenda items.
Muted. Unmuted.
So would you guys like to do a special on July 1st? What?
I'm gonna interrupt real quick so we don't even have to go there. If we own those blow-ups, things already, then that stuff is already paid for. My only concern, if we are doing that and we have county employees that are helping with that, and if, my only concern is, the selling of alcohol from people in the park and not having liquor licenses, is that something that what do we do?
That's up to them.
Well, so the first possible issue is, since the events were all canceled, majority of the people, of the county employees that would have been taking or overseeing those activities have requested an approved vacation yet.
Okay,
So we might run into some issues manning or staffing
okay.
those fun houses. As far as the alcohol goes, I think that would be, I don't know, I don't have.
As well, people would have to know that they would have to contact the sheriff's
Yes,
office.
yes.
But if we have people that would be willing to to man those? Is that something that we, under this part, that we can do?
So I talked to Ted, and Ted said that if we are going to use county employees to run the bounce houses, and I believe there's one bounce house, a pirate ship slide, an axe thrower, and then a kickball, football, basketball blow up. He said that if we're going to use county employees, then we will have to have a special meeting for that approval.
It could be a quick one,
Okay,
like you
if-
said, a call.
Commissioners,
Of course, we've already
That
voted,
would
we're
be-
not gonna do any of
Commissioner?
that.
Go ahead, Ted.
if you can find another way to pay them without having to make a motion or something, that would not be necessary. But if it's gonna cost the county more money for them to work, then you're gonna have to address that.
Well, or we can, unfortunately, yeah, well,
I know in the past, and this is just thought, but we've always talked about the sober, or had the sober seniors do things.
Mhm.
I don't know if we could have, I don't know, Ted, have them staff those fun houses and then make a donation to the sober seniors?
can we do that?
You'd have to have, county supervision.
Well, yeah, have to
Okay.
have
Yeah,
say.
one
So
supervisor or something.
if we could do that, get that organized, but if we couldn't, then we can't do anything. But if between now and then we can get that organized, is that something that we can do?
Yes.
Okay, cause I don't have a problem trying to help that, as long as we're doing everything the way that we're supposed to.
So Ted, if we have somebody that's a county supervisor and we're paying them, do we still have to have a special meeting?
No, if they're paid hourly, you might, but if they're salary, you certainly wouldn't have to.
Okay.
Okay.
We can try it, and if we can't, then we can't, but if we can get it pulled together and we can get people who are interested in helping or even volunteering, I'll volunteer my time, I don't care. But if we can't do it, we can't do it, and we worry about the fall festival, and that's the best that we can do
Okay,
at this
so
point.
we don't need.
We
to
don't
do
need a
this.
special,
Okay,
okay?
perfect, yes,
That's
thank
the best
you.
we can do.
What do we have on the pool? When is that opening?
It's
In the south?
No, here.
It's all open.
It is open?
Yes, yes.
Somebody just said they checked yesterday and it wasn't.
Oh, yes.
No, it's been open since, he went to phase 2.
Okay, that's what I thought, and they just, Gail told me that. Absolutely not, she
It's
said.
been open every day.
I was just there,
Okay.
so.
Michelle, I know you're on the line. Take that and noted. It is open.
All right, with that being said, do we have any more further public comment? All right, hearing none. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you, everyone.